The audio will find itself.
The audio will find itself. The audio is within us the whole time.
Yeah. All right, what's up, gang? It's
Yeah, boy.
It's your boys at Aranco Station in Aranco,
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Why does that sound like it would be a thing?
Aranco, New Mexico?
Guarantee it's a thing.
Yeah. So,
I don't even remember what our
last time we did it, I think I was just prog soloed.
Yeah, because it was a few days before my solo, I think. It was like...
Oh, okay, somebody was getting ready for ESC.
It was right before, because it was before Horizon Day, because we were talking about Horizon Day.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I was getting ready for ESC.
And I was getting ready for my solo.
I was just past my written...
Wait, that's really sad.
What?
You were getting ready for your EOC when I was getting ready for my solo.
That's not sad.
Damn.
No, I was probably getting ready for my ESC when you're about to solo.
Maybe.
That's still not... It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tori. She's all out here taking her check ride in 2 weeks.
CFI check ride already.
So, yeah, a long time ago, we are both...
Gay.
Yes. And... Yes.
Secret pilots.
Yes. Secretly, we're pilots.
Yeah. We are both officially licensed private pilots.
Yep.
We have our privates.
Yep.
They grew.
Exactly. That's a reference for...
Someone who knows. Reference for Lucas.
Yeah, reference for Lucas.
Lucas.
He's over there.
Oh, yeah. Lucas.
He's in Germany right now.
Going out for the homie Lucas.
Yeah. He's at Oktoberfest in Germany right now. And we've been crying together alone, cuddling, and only having sex with each other instead of...
Well, we have the picture of Lucas on the wall.
Yeah.
With little candles by his face.
Yeah. I'm like, Lucas! So, yeah, we're private pilots. I don't know.
Doesn't it kind of feel like, I was thinking about this the other day, and it almost works out perfectly too, how it's like college or high school, like, okay, now we finished freshman year, and we're in sophomore year doing our instrument.
Yeah, but we did freshman year in 2 months.
Yeah, we did freshman year in 2 months, doing our instrument in a couple months, so our sophomore year, and then our junior year is going to be finishing up our commercial.
Yep.
And then senior year is doing our CFI.
Yep. It's like sped up school.
Yeah, it's sped school.
I mean, some people do, like, it takes them like a year to get their privates, so...
Right.
They're privates, sorry.
They're privates.
Yeah. One stage is done.
I think a year is actually average for Part 61 especially. That's what I've heard at least.
Really?
Like people who are flying like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most common. That's when
you're spending like 90 hours.
Right. Because that's like most people are like going to work and like flying on the side.
Yeah.
Whereas flying is our work.
Yeah. So,
Guest appearance. Shout out that guy.
Let's hear about your whole experience from solo to... Because we didn't even do a solo.
A post-solo. Neither of us did.
Well, I didn't because I was like fucking 2 years ago. But let's hear your solo experience and then your check ride or getting ready for your check ride.
God, I feel like a solo was like so long ago.
Yeah.
I feel like a solo is like nothing to me now.
Yeah, that was...
God. I don't even know the date. I think it must have been at least a month and a half ago.
I think it was like July 20...
Oh, it was like towards the end.
Or something like that.
It was definitely towards the end of July.
Because I think Horizon Day was the 18th or something of July.
Yeah.
And then...
And I soloed like 3 days after Horizon Day.
So the 21st, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 21st sounds right.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, solo. Let's see. Man, I don't even remember anymore. My landings were trash. I thought I was going to die on my solo. I was like, man, that'd be a pretty good time to die, though. If you think about it, like, that'd be a good headline. Student pilot dies on his first solo. 3 instructors said he was ready. Turned out he was wrong.
So much pressure. There'd be so much shit on Wubin.
Yeah, on Wubin and Anton.
Yeah. Not necessarily. Did you think about that? Have you thought about that, though? Like, the proggers have, like, if you do something wrong in your check ride, or if you screw up, like, crash or something, it's almost nothing is on them. It's basically all on your instructor and you, of course.
Right, I agree. But then it's also like I think it's more on them though. Like, okay, if you're on your prog and you fuck up, that's on your instructor. But if you're on your solo, I would put like 90% of that fall on your progger.
Really? Why?
Because the progger was the one who passed you. He's the one that said, okay, you are ready to solo.
Okay. So for people who don't know, proggers are... So we basically, as part 141, we have to have... I mean, I guess 61 has this too, but you have to have like mini like flight... or not a flight review, like a flight test.
Stage exams.
Stage exams, progress checks with people who are qualified to do it. Yeah. And they basically just do like a mini check ride with an oral and a flight. So whatever you are at, whatever stage you're at, they'll check how you're doing at that stage with with like check ride type questions and check ride type scenarios.
Yeah.
So
and there's two. So before you're solo, you have a prog before you can solo, and that's just to make sure you won't die. Yeah. Like it's basically just, okay, can you do a halfway decent pre-flight to make sure that you can go up safely, and can you fly the airplane somewhat safely? Do you know how to handle a stall, and do you know how to handle a landing?
Yeah.
And then of course your EOC, which is kind of just the second prog check, is more in depth, and it's just seeing if you're ready for your actual check ride.
Yeah. It is basically the check ride.
Yeah.
So
my EOC was definitely harder than my check ride.
Yep, mine was...
Your prog was harder than your check ride.
Yeah, my prog was harder than my check ride. My EOC was...
And of course.
Probably the easiest thing I've done.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, so okay, so solo, I didn't think I was ready at all. My landings were feeling pretty rough. But then after I soloed, I had a lot more confidence because, of course, the landings weren't smooth whatsoever, but they were safe. I obviously didn't die. Plane still flew afterwards. So I was happy with my landings. And then after that, then you jump right into your local solo and then your solo cross country, which boosted a lot of confidence for me, knowing that I can actually fly an airplane on my own. I don't need an instructor. I can land. I can communicate with other pilots. I can communicate with ATC all on my own. Nice. And then so after that, I got a lot more confident, and then doing like the review flights. Basically, after your solo and after you finish your solo hours, at that point you're just getting ready for your check ride. That's all it is. So I felt a lot more confident going up with my instructor and being able to learn and everything. And did about 3 review flights. Went for my EOC, which didn't go very well. I mean, I passed, but I wasn't confident in it because there was a lot of things I didn't know. But then after the EOC, of course, check ride. And I felt pretty confident going to my check ride just because I knew what to study after my EOC. And I passed, went fine. It was still my landings that I was worried about, not being unsafe, but not being up to ACS standards. But ended up passing, and so now I would say I'm a pretty confident pilot. I have been to unfamiliar airports. I know how to talk to towers I haven't talked to. I know how to taxi on taxiways I haven't taxied. So I think being able to go to an airport I've never been to before or been to with an instructor before has boosted my confidence quite a bit, because now I feel like I am actually getting closer and closer to going into the airlines when you are going to airports you have never been to. So that's a good feeling.
I didn't even think about that.
Really?
Like that I've gone to airports that I haven't gone to with my instructor.
Yeah, that was kind of a big thing for me because I always get nervous. Like the reason that I felt comfortable going to Corvallis on my solo before I got my private was because I've been there with my instructor before, so I know what to expect.
Yeah.
But then going to Eugene for the first time, I was a little nervous because I've never been there before. I have no idea what the taxiways are going to be like. But then I also kind of cheated because I went with you, you have been there before.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was kind of like, I kind of like eased my way into going into airports on my own because I went with you to Eugene.
Yeah.
And then truly on my own, then I went to Kelso. But that was just touch and go, so that barely even really counts, yeah. I think.
And you've kind of been in that region too. So, I mean, the airport's different, but the region you've been
in. Kelso was like completely new because I'd never been past Scappoose.
Yeah.
So that was all new. Pretty stressful because there was a lot of traffic, so that was kind of stressful. But after that, it was fine. Then went to Astoria on my own, and then went to Salem on my own. So, yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel like I can pretty much handle anything as long as weather's good.
Well, and you have to add Pasco.
Pasco. Oh God.
Yeah, so here's the story here. If you want to start us off, I mean,
Yeah.
it's your story to tell, basically.
So we're doing our commercial time building along with our instrument training because weather gets really bad here in the Pacific Northwest during winter time. So we're trying to get as many hours as we can at the moment. So we're doing our requirements, like we have certain things that we have to do to get our commercial rating, one of which being a long cross country, 250 nautical miles in a straight line. And so we were planning on going to Lewiston, Idaho. So it's about, 3-hour flight. And we do that, and within 2.5 hours of flying, my engine starts sputtered once. And I'm like, okay, kind of interesting. Common cause for that could be carb icing. So I tried putting my carb heat on, didn't do anything, sputtered 3 more times. And so that was when I called it. We were getting what's called a flight following. So basically you're just talking to ATC during your entire flight. They're giving you traffic avoidance and whatnot. And so I talked to them, hey, I got to divert to Pasco. And it's pretty cool, actually, because we practiced this for check ride, because it's one of the things is to talk to tower to let them know you're going to divert and the procedure for that. So it was kind of cool getting to actually use that skill in a real life scenario. So talking to tower, letting them know I'm diverting, and they were very nice. It was pretty slow, so they were helping me out a lot. And it was definitely kind of surreal getting asked the questions that you hear on ATC recordings for actual emergencies, because all these crazy plane whatnots of engine failures and twisted landing gears and all this. They're talking to tower, how many souls are on board, how much fuel do you have? Like, you hear this all the time. And so me getting asked that was definitely a moment of, wow, this is real. So yeah, then landed in Pasco, sat there for about 5 hours while waiting for good old Hillsborough Aero to send a van to pick me up with our good buddy, good pal. No name should be named, but a really good buddy came to pick me up. And it was a long drive back. And so now I still have to do that long cross country. All my other time building is done for commercial, but I am not feeling motivated to do that cross country anymore, just because I feel like I wasted so much time on it. But yeah, so Hero was actually with me. He was about 5 to 10 miles ahead of me at the time. And so as a good friend he decided to divert if he wants to tell his side of the story.
I just want to add before we talk about, this is kind of my side of the story, but I thought he was joking at first. So we were we were monitoring
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we were on our own frequency talking to each other, and then we were monitoring center. So when he told me, I have a rough engine, I really thought he was just joking. The way he said it was just nonchalant and very calm. So I was like, he's probably joking, and then I would realize, it's probably kind of serious. And then maybe you said it like one more time.
I did, because I was like, I'm having kind of rough engine, but I'm going to try my carb heat. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. You're like, well, Pasco's right there if you need it.
Yeah. It didn't really hit me until we started talking you started talking to ATC about it. And I wasn't really that worried at all at any point. I was like, he's going to be fine.
Worst case scenario, because I was even in glide distance of Pasco. So.
Yeah. I was like, he sounds completely fine right now. Just hearing you, the way you were talking, I was like, he's going to be fine. But it was like, I don't know. It was kind of
surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got down and the whole rest of the day, I guess, I have a attitude when I fly, which is kind of like nothing will happen to me, like I
what
won't
did you
die.
tell me? You were like, those Cessnas are indestructible. Anyone can survive one of those crashes.
I kind of do believe that still.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have died in Cessna crashes.
I'm just saying, like, if you have control, then you should not die.
That's true.
If you have you lose an elevator, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna die.
But it depends where you are, because, like, if you're over the mountains and there's no landing field.
I still feel like if you have complete control, like, if you get an engine out, but you have a lot of distance to glide and you find, like, a patch or something, like, you're still not gonna... Dude, like a week ago, these 2 old guys, like 70-year-old guys who were flying a Cessna in Washington, they crashed at night, and they just went into some trees, and they were like 15 feet above the ground, and they still survived. Like,
seriously?
No issues at all.
That's crazy.
And they found them like the next morning. So, like, obviously there's some luck to that. Like, they didn't hit the fuselage didn't like where they
Right.
were saying they didn't hit a tree. The wings hit a tree, which like made the impact like
Right. And there was no fire. The
Yeah.
fire could have been bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I see those kinds of things. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to die. I might crash, but I'm not going to die. I might get a little injury, but I'm not going to die. But after that, I was really cautious. And then on my way back to, there was probably almost no issue with that engine, but I was being really, I don't know. I just thought there was an issue. I mean, there was definitely something somewhat wrong with that engine. Like, it wasn't normal, but I was totally fine. I was kind of freaking out about it, but
Also, you
That
got
was
to
a
think
day.
about, though, like hearing that same humming for 3 hours straight. It's going to start, you're going to start hearing like the little deviations.
yeah. And the other thing is, like, I was tired, so like my senses were like all whack. I was like, oh, is this like actually vibrating right now?
Yeah.
But I really did think there was a difference.
And I
But-
think it was like what I'm saying too, just like that shitty old engine running for 6 hours basically.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I ended up going to Lewiston. I'm done with my 250. That was miserable. Yeah. It's miserable, but it was still like a fun day. I'd
Yeah,
say.
I'd say so.
And then afterwards, we all saw Lucas, and we almost drove to Seattle just for funsies.
We should have done that. That'd have been a story.
We should do that next time.
Yeah. I think the only reason I didn't was because I felt bad that he would have to be at the airport for 12 hours.
I would have totally gone. You know what? I told Eric about this, and he's like, you guys should have just gone, the two of you. And I was like, what is this so pointless?
Yeah, what are we just going to drive there and then drive back?
That's what I told him. He was like, yeah, that sounds fun. So, yeah, that was that day. But, yeah. We're both doing commercial and instrument right now.
Yep.
So our commercial time building and then our instrument.
We're about equal with commercial time building right now because you still need to do a couple more night hours.
Yeah.
And then I'm done with everything except for the long cross country.
Yeah.
But you're a bit ahead of me in the instrument training.
Yeah. I'm done with all my commercial hours. I mean, my commercial cross countries, I just have to do my night hours.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty much set.
And it's just learning the maneuvers and getting ready for check ride.
Yeah. But then there's multi-prog.
Yeah.
10 hours.
That'll be so easy.
I
though.
I cannot wait to get that 26K kicking in and not having to worry about
Yeah, that'll
what's
be
going
nice.
on with my finances. It's just, I'll put it on the Alaska account. I don't know how that really works, but I'm sure.
I think they just put it directly into your school account.
Okay. And the school has like the Alaska money somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, currently studying for my instrument written. And it's not going very well. I'm really unmotivated. I'm in general pretty burnt out these days because, I just been flying constantly. I checked my schedule just recently and it said I had an activity every day for the month of September except one day. There might be like one day where I canceled or something got wrong, and so like I didn't actually end up doing full 29 days, but it's probably.
I don't know if I don't think you canceled any days.
I think there was one day we canceled because of weather
Mm.
or something. But I probably had ground that day or something anyways.
Sure, you had something.
Yeah, so I probably did 29 days straight basically. So I'm pretty fucking burnt out. I don't really have that much motivation. It's taking me some time to get used to Shepherd Air too. I use Sporties, which I actually really fucking like Sporties. And I'm kind of upset I don't get to use that platform again for my written test, but Shepherd Air seems really good too. I'm actually starting to enjoy it. It's really simple and there's not a lot to look at. So like you have to have discipline because your phone's right there. You could just look at Instagram or something.
That was
colorful,
climb. I'm prepared
shiny
for that.
pictures. So, but instrument written. I also have the CFII written scheduled, and then in terms of flights and just activities, I'm ready for EOC. I don't feel ready at all, really. My flying, probably like one or two more flights I'm ready, but my knowledge side, I'm not ready at all, I don't think. You ask me some lost comm situation and I'll be like, yeah, just fly to the airport and do a procedure, turn and fucking land.
What about your systems knowledge? How are you on that?
systems
Yeah.
for instrument,
Yeah.
not a lot.
Not good or good?
There isn't a lot of systems questions.
Well, that's-
you like
Like your instruments.
yeah, instruments. I think that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking more
Like aerodynamic.
regulations, and then weather. I think those are my two things right now that are
Interesting.
issues.
Regs are kind of easy for me. I don't know. For some reason, I have an easy time Like I don't know them right now, but I have an easy time memorizing regs.
Yeah.
Like that was always my best subject for my private pilot
Mm.
questions.
I guess it wasn't that bad for me either. I just had issues with. I wouldn't read the question, and all the cloud clearance questions, I just
Oh
go.
god, the cloud clearance.
I
ones.
just go, oh, 3 statue 150. That looks okay.
Yeah, I think on my check ride, like I would not have been able to answer clearance or visibility and cloud coverage questions on my check ride. But luckily, because of that personal minimums checklist, I think that's why he didn't ask.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I could have found it in the fire and wouldn't that big a deal. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad that I had that.
Yeah. My check ride was very easy. Or I wouldn't say it was very easy, but it just wasn't that hard. Like, I honestly, there's a lot of stuff I feel like I just screwed up on, and she didn't really care. She was
Yeah.
like, oh, you found it, and yeah, your knowledge is average. She told me my knowledge was
Average.
average. So I was like, okay, average is good. I passed.
You were not like, I remember after your check ride, like you were just like, eh.
Yeah, because there was so many questions. She asked me what color lights the taxiway lights are.
The edge
center
lights?
line- center line.
Oh,
And I was like, I don't know. And I was like,
well, that's a trick question because Centerline doesn't always have lights.
I know. And so I said, I don't know what I said first. She's like, no, that's wrong. And I was like, okay. So I looked in my
What are they, white or orange?
So I don't even remember.
We really should know this.
I think it's yellow.
Yeah, or like a yellowy orange, or is it just straight up yellow?
I don't know. So I think I said white at some point, and she's like, no.
I would have said white. I think. I
And then-
gotta look this up.
And then, man, I don't know.
We should know. We need to know this for commercials.
I
too.
said it wrong twice, and then I looked at it, and she's like, are you sure? And then she's like, let me see what you're looking at. And then she just pointed it to me, and she's like, so it's this. And I was like, okay, thanks for teaching me. I feel like you're just teaching me instead of being a test, and I just passed somehow. So,
Runway centerline lights. When viewed from the landing threshold, the runway centerline lights are white until the last 2,000 feet, then they turn red. Well, alternate.
that's
red.
runway in the center line.
Was it not? Was that not what you're talking about?
Taxiway.
Oh, right. Taxiway. Green?
No.
No, not green.
Anyways, wait, maybe I think like the leading it, or I don't know. I know for
green is the runway threshold.
I know for a fact.
Oh, it is green. Taxiway centerline lights emit green light.
I know for a fact we're gonna be watching this, listening to this in like 2 years. Even in like 6 months, we'll be like, what the fuck? These guys don't know that? God, these chumps.
We really should know these things.
But yeah.
Jordan is gonna ask us.
Oh God.
This is private knowledge.
Oh.
Oh, if he says that to me, I'm gonna lose it, man.
I'm gonna be like, okay, so
Well, I'm gonna be like, so this isn't a private check ride, is it?
you try being me. You try being me.
You try being me. Live a day in my shoes.
Remember those days back in the day? You were doing your instrument. You had to do your instrument check right at some point.
And you weigh 200 pounds less. Motherfucker.
You had to do your instrument check right at some point. You don't remember how stressed you were? Forget all your private stuff just to do your instrument stuff? Like, what are you saying that shit for, bro?
Yeah. No, I think, I'll lose it.
So we're just talking about a certain
I already said his name. It
DP.
really doesn't even matter.
I know.
I don't care.
A checker. They're like the testers by the FAA that test us. It's like your driving test for, the car for planes, but they also do like the ground portion, which is like oral quizzing
Yep.
and like situations instead of, like the written stuff. But
Yes.
yeah.
Facts.
And Lucas had him, and it's not a pleasant experience, and
Not a good man.
I do not want to.
And I overheard him talking to someone in the pilot lounge. So rude.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know why they were in the pilot lounge. What were they doing on the computer was what I'm trying to figure out. Because I never went in there with my DVE.
Yeah, I didn't either. She came in, she's like, ready? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, see, I didn't. My check ride. He didn't. He just came while I was like halfway through my pre-flight,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of watched. Didn't ask me a single question about the airplane.
Yeah. She asked me literally 2 questions about the airplane after pre-flight. And yeah. So that's, I mean, is there more shit to talk? I feel like
We're kind of caught up. I feel. Wasn't there something that we were like, oh, we should talk about that on the podcast?
there's a lot of stuff where in the moment we're like, that's a good
Yeah.
podcast topic.
We need to start writing those down.
But I feel like gave a very overall like summary of what we're doing. There's a lot of like details and small little stories we've had that
Yeah.
I think
Going to Tacoma Narrows with our dads.
yes. Oh yes. So yeah, that's a good point. We went to Tacoma Narrows with each of our
Fathers.
flight instructors. And they're both Korean, so we really want them to be friends, even though they're not really friends. They're just
Korean.
they're acquaintances.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't think they would hang out on their own
No,
without
definitely.
our.
Not. I don't think Woodward would hang out with anyone on his own.
Really, not even
Yeah.
SJ.
Maybe SJ. I don't
feel
know.
like he is the type of person that like if someone invites him, like, oh okay.
If he gets invited, yeah, but I don't think he would ever invite someone.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I could tell. I think he's like trying to like hint at me to like invite him somewhere.
for
But-
just the you two.
I think so.
Aww.
But like I don't like he should invite. I don't know. I feel like he should invite me because he's like the older. He's the instructor.
Yeah. I feel like even yeah, like you're talking like Asian there, man. Like yeah, he should totally be the one that's doing that. But hey, it don't matter really. But yeah, we really want them to be best friends.
That's these.
And we had a good time in Tacoma Narrows. We went and grabbed Korean food in the
Almost didn't go.
crew car. Yeah,
They were
almost
scared of a thunderstorm that was what, like 100 miles south.
I was like, bro, it's green. It's light green. It just says chance of rain at like an hour after we land. Like, what are you guys talking about? I was like, okay. I mean, there's 3 pilots here, and they all think they can't go. So, I mean, maybe there's something wrong with me. But
The only reason that I was hesitant is because Wubin is usually like that. He's willing to go with like a lot of situations. So it was weird to me that he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I mean, I'll just trust you.
Yeah. So, yeah, we almost didn't go, but we really had a good time. Grabbed some good Korean food,
Yep.
and
Oh, I never told you.
huh?
There was egg whites in my soup. And
What?
so I felt bad, so I didn't want to like send it back or say anything. So I just ate around it, and it was fine. But that's why I didn't eat like all of it. I ate like all like the dumplings out of it.
Oh my god.
I wanted to just order the dumplings because I knew that'd be safe. But then Ruben was like, "That's an appetizer." I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, we both had. I mean, I'm assuming you never had. I never had that soup thing that we had.
No, it was
very-
pretty bland. It was like good, but it was kind of bland. But I think when you add the stuff in, it
That's
was
what
better.
makes it. That's
Yeah.
what. Like at first, I was like, "Damn, this is like, what is it? Like, this
Right.
isn't very good." And then I started adding stuff like kimchi and all like
the little green
tongue,
onions and
and I was like, "Oh man, this is actually really fire."
the kimchi was really good.
Yeah, that shit made it.
And did you try the radish too?
I think yeah, I tried everything. Yeah,
And you
yeah,
tried the
yeah,
tongue?
Yeah, that was
The
so
tongue was
good.
fire.
Oh my god, the texture was so good.
It was like I think if it was a bigger piece, I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah,
but because
yeah,
it was
yeah,
really
yeah.
thinly sliced, it was
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, yeah.
It tasted like really tender steak,
I think a little thicker would have been fine,
but not like
But like the size, like the length of it,
yeah.
the width of it was perfect. I'd say.
But it could have easily been too like slime. I don't know what the texture would have been, but it could have been too textury.
I
Like
guess.
liver,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
like
yeah,
liver. It could have been like that
Yeah,
because I can't eat liver. Is really like the flavor is fine, but I don't care for the texture. And
that's
so-
the opposite for me. Liver texture is like, but the
But the
taste
flavor.
is like.
maybe it just hasn't been cooked right for you then, or it's just the way that you like
I don't
it.
know. I've only had liver. I've had liver like the French style and then the Vietnamese style,
Gotcha.
and neither.
See, I just had it
Really?
white style. My dad sauteed it with some onions and garlic.
Really?
Yeah, and it was great.
What do you mean white style?
Like white style is just you just throw shit in a pan.
I want to try that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I think he did it. I think he just cooked it. It was like a butter saute with a little garlic and maybe some brown sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good,
Sounds-
simple.
Sounds pretty good, yeah. Yeah. I've recently been eating almost nothing. There's just like the same thing every day. I have rice with sausages, curry, pre-made curry, or fermented beans. And then if I have pasta, basically just pasta bianca or mac and cheese, and then salad. That's all I've literally been eating.
Yeah.
That's all I know how to make, and that's all I've been eating. And that's all I have in my pantry and my fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, and ramen. Sorry, ramen. Ramen.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where some days I literally just eat dinner. Because I just wake up, I go fly, go on the ground, go to work, whatever. And then do whatever I'm doing in the middle of the day, whether it be work or flying, it's some sort of like alternate. And then by the time I have time to eat, it's just dinner time. And then I eat and go to sleep.
Wait, did you have a job back in episode 5? Maybe they're on the...
No, I wouldn't have.
Yeah. Tell them about...
I mean, it's not much to tell. I got a job at Sherwin-Williams.
Nice.
The swag.
I don't got a job, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It pays the bills, and it's really easy. And I just tell people that we don't have things, and they leave.
That messes with me. Yeah.
Dude, I did that my last, 2 weeks when I was at the hot dog shop in high school. It was new owners. New owners took it over right before COVID, and then we were closed for a month. And then I come back to work, and of course they want to make all these changes. So they added in a shaved ice machine. And at that point, I put in my 2 weeks notice because I wanted a different job. And so I was like, why am I going to learn this whole machine when I'm only going to be here for 2 more weeks? So I pulled the good old McDonald's. Every time someone came in, oh, sorry, it's down. Oh, sorry, it's not working. Oh, sorry,
That's legit.
we're out of ice.
That is legit.
What's the difference?
You might be working there for another, 6 months?
God, probably. But still, what's the difference? Sending people away because they want shaved ice, or sending people away because they want some stupid stain?
But I feel like not having shaved ice and having paint is a little bit more...
I get them paint. I just don't get them stains because stains are weird. Especially the oil stains, because you got to hand tint them. It's not in the computer system. You got to go to the tinter and oh, this many ounces, and oh, this many ounces.
That's whack.
Yeah, and if you get and then the lacquer. Oh, I don't fuck with the lacquer because you
I
got
don't know
to.
what the...
It's I don't really know. I'm gonna lie. I don't know what it is either. But it's you got to catalyze it. I don't know what that means. But it's this chemical you pour in it, and it's the strongest scent. And if you get it in your eyes, you go blind.
What?
And yeah. And so I'm I'm not
permanently.
Permanently. I'm
What?
I'm not risking this. So I
No,
tell people.
no goggles.
I mean, they have them, but I'm not a pussy.
You can't even fly. Oh, a blind pilot.
How are they gonna know?
For me, but for you,
Yeah.
it's a little different.
No, how would they know? Who's gonna find out? I just memorized the little visual board when I go in for my first class medical. He's like, oh, what's this? I'm like, oh, EHIJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anytime they ask for some weird shit like that, I'm like, oh yeah, we don't have it. And then there's 3 other stores within a 15-minute drive. So, come on, they can go somewhere else.
Really big market for paint these days, huh?
Stupid. It's the summertime, everyone's doing their paint for summer, so during winter apparently it gets dead. Dude, my whole life is gonna be so slow in winter.
Yeah.
There's no flying, no paint. I guess I'll maybe be doing Uber Eats a lot.
Yeah. My life's gonna be pretty slow coming up here too. I'm looking forward to it because I'm tired of shit.
Yeah, I know.
But
If I can just get my long cross country done before winter, I'll be happy.
oh no, that's not an issue.
The thing is that because I'm gone this week, I'm gone 4 days for Disneyland, and then I work 3 days, so it's going to be a week before I can do my long cross country. And then I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like going into mid-October.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
It's just going to keep getting worse and worse. There's already been days where we've had to cancel because of weather.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already started to have low ceilings, little icing conditions, low IFR, stuff like that here.
And what sucks is Wubin is so busy, my instructor, that even if there is time that, it's a little rare opportunity that you can fly, who's to say I'm even going to get that slot? It could go to another student.
That's true.
So it's it's just going to be rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I got pretty lucky with my instructor because he has 5 or 6 students. And I basically asked what time, or he asked me what time I'm available. I'm like, oh, this time. He's like, okay, perfect, that works.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Wubin, I think he has 7 students, but then he also is doing the ground school.
Yeah.
So
And he has a Japanese student, so they fly a lot, right?
They fly a lot, and then they need a lot more help because of their English.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But one of his students is going back to Japan.
So he's down to 6.
Down to 6.
Nice.
And then during winter, they don't get their instrument here, so he's going to have less.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be as bad, but
Yeah.
apparently he has one student working on his private, and then 2 other students working on their commercial. So then it'll just be like 4, including me.
Commercial?
Yeah.
Commercial single engine?
I don't know if they're Japanese or not. They might be Korean.
Oh, gotcha. Because he doesn't have his multi, right?
He doesn't have his MEI, no.
So,
It's definitely, just his commercial single.
gotcha. So they gotta be... Yeah, they gotta be Korean then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh, interesting. So...
I think he has one Chinese student. A couple Korean, a couple Japanese. And then I was his only American, but then now he has one more.
Yeah, that's 6 people, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Oh, no, that's 7.
It's something.
But then he lost the Japanese, so it's 1, 1, 2, and 2.
Yeah.
So 6, yeah. Yeah.
And then plus the ground school.
Yeah. Crazy guy. Insane guy.
A lot of hours.
Yeah. What is he at now, do you know?
He said, I think, 800 something. Not that much.
Not that much.
I mean, compared to some of the other instructors, they're 1,000, 1,200. I don't know.
It's still 200. That's 2 months worth of
That's
flying.
true, yeah.
My instructor just passed 1,000, I think.
That's cool.
So
Isn't Eric trying to stay in America?
he can't.
But,
He wants to come back, yeah.
Yeah.
His, their child, they want to be back for the child.
At this point, this is not even a podcast anymore. We're just talking. I guess that is
That
what
is what,
podcast
yeah.
is. That's funny.
This is good.
If you could either be a hobo with a 5% chance of getting adopted by a rich guy, or be Hitler within the last 2 years of the war, you would have 2 more years, but you have to shoot yourself at the end, what would you rather be?
I'm not gonna lie. The safe route's the hobo,
Safe route is the hobo.
but it kind of be fun.
Yeah, you'd
But
have so much power.
The issue is with that is what are we talking? Because are we going back in time? Because if I become Hitler, then
Yeah.
that means if whatever I do differently from him, that's going to change history completely. Me being a hobo will not change anybody's life at all.
Yeah, exactly. But then, but it's you're pretty much set in stone, because in the last 2 years of the war, Hitler has already made all his choices. So no one's changing their opinions on Hitler in those 2 years.
But you could do some radical shit. You could be like, hey, actually, I like the gays, or I like the Jews.
Actually, I am gay. But yeah, so that would be your choices. But at the end, after the war, you have to shoot yourself.
That'd be, and you're conscious, you're okay, I'm gonna shoot myself. I know I'm gonna shoot myself, and then you're okay, I'm me, but I'm a hero again.
Maybe.
Because then it'd be kind of cool to know what it's like to die.
But you don't go back. You're dead. You don't go back.
So
to
I'm
being
not
Hitler.
hero.
No, you're Hitler.
Oh, then I'd be hobo, because then I got a chance to get out of there.
That's true, because you could get a 5% chance of getting inherited by
Yeah.
a rich guy.
I'd take those chances. I wonder if is it even wrong to think about doing that with Hitler though?
To be Hitler?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think I would choose to be Hitler instead of being a hobo.
Oh God.
That'd be awful to be a hobo. At least Hitler, you're rich, you're powerful, do whatever you want.
But you're a terrible person.
You're a terrible person, but it's not affecting you. If I had to choose.
Well, if you were conscious that I'm actually Eric, but I'm acting as Hitler now.
Right. I had to. I guess that would depend. If I have to do what Hitler does, if I have to act like Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to learn German.
Would I know German?
Deutschland. I don't know.
That's a good question. I'm sure I could hire Josh.
50.
9.
Niner.
Niner.
Yeah, you could hire Josh. Josh would have some crazy thoughts oh, you actually have to do this. Oh no, you shouldn't do that. Actually, you
there's
should.
actually no such thing as Jews.
Yeah. No. Yeah, some crazy shit like that. Most definitely. So we always kind of do this, but let's talk about let's just say our next podcast is in a month. What would you have like to be done by then, or what would you like to do by then?
So November 1st.
Yeah, November 1st.
So my 1-year anniversary with Horizon Air. I get to finally take off my bum cap. I don't have to fly with it on anymore.
Nice.
What if I told you I've been flying with my bum cap this whole time?
I wouldn't believe you.
That'd be funny. Okay, for real. For show. November 1st. Let's see. I definitely want to have my long cross country done. That's a given. I would want to have completed my prog for instrument.
That's easy.
Yeah, maybe at least be like, I want to be like within a couple days, if not completed with my written. And maybe getting ready, like doing, like finishing up my studying for my written and then getting ready for EOC at the same time. That would be nice. And then if I can get my instrument rating before weather gets really bad, like December, January, February, then that would be perfect. And then, yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, so I guess just, finishing up with my written and then finishing up with, you're getting ready for EOC. What about you? You could damn near be getting ready for commercial EOC at that point.
I was thinking at least multi-prog. If I'm there, multi-prog and like getting ready for my written, perfect.
Yeah.
Instrument rated, multi-prog, written, perfect.
But how long is the instrument check ride wait right now?
I don't know.
It's probably 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to end up being like 3 weeks with like the weather coming in and out.
Right. Because you'll probably, like, not to be a Debbie Downer, but, it could be literally a day for check ride and you just can't fly.
Yeah. No, they're going to start pushing people back like they did with Tristan and Willie and stuff like that. So, yeah. Hopefully, in a month I should be... Actually, in a month, if I take my EOC in a week, I submit... Or let's say I submit for EOC or submit for check ride Friday.
Yeah.
That puts me at October 6th. Say it's 14 days to 21 days. That puts me at
October 20th.
Yeah.
And then say worst case scenario, you have 1 week delay because of weather.
Yeah.
So October 27th.
Yeah. So I'll be.
But you can still be working on commercial while you're waiting for your.
Imagine that I'm commercial prog. My multi prog is done before I'm done with.
It's very possible because we have all of our requirements done.
Yeah, and it took Lucas like what?
A week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Colton was ACS within his second flight.
That's crazy. Colton's a crazy fucking aviator. Yeah.
Anton even said, as long as we don't die, you pass your prog.
Yeah. Anton sounds so cool.
And I feel like that's basically the multi-check ride, too. I feel like the multi-check ride is more so about your oral than it is about your flight. Because the flight's easy.
Yeah.
I feel like the flight is almost no different.
I can't say anything because I haven't flown I haven't flown any multi at all yet.
I did backseat.
Yeah, but it was easy, so.
Yeah,
I can't say.
It seems so, like, being in the backseat of that, it seems so easy.
That's good.
It seems like the only thing is once you get a feel of the flow, like, you know what to do with your props, you know what to do with the everything, you know all your shit, then it'll be easy.
Okay, non-aviation goal by November 1st.
I don't have a single non-aviation goal. Just not want to off myself.
Okay.
No, for real.
I think.
Yeah, I literally have no other, because like work is work. I'm just powering through. There's really nothing else to my life at this point.
That's kind of sad.
What else am I doing?
I don't know.
What else are you doing?
My goal, I guess it's not my personal goal, but I want to take my parents and my grandma up flying.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I want to take my dad flying.
Yeah.
And Louisa.
Yeah.
I guess, at least within the next month, I want to see Louisa a couple more times. That would be
perfect.
Another good one.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's kind of it, huh?
I think that's it.
In case you guys have been wondering why we're holding our phones like this, is our mics.
Mics. I think they know. They probably watch TikTok.
Mics.
If they watch podcasts, they watch TikTok.
Sure.
And that's what TikTokers do. So, what's your favorite major? What's your least favorite major?
Communications.
Communications. Business. Gender studies.
What's your major? Communications. What's your least favorite major? Communications.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do an episode. So upcoming episodes, I'm thinking, well, we'll keep doing these like update stuff, but I think at least one where like we grill Lucas kind of like on his Alaska stuff
Yeah.
and just his life kind of. So Lucas, I'd like to do one. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to do one with Colton and Tristan and
Yeah.
probably Willie, and then yeah, just go around school. One episode just talking to people. Oh, actually, our instructors too.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I'd like to do like separately.
Separate. It'd be cool if we did separate and together.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Well, it would be like me and you talking to Eric and me and you talking to Wubin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. We don't do this separately. We don't
Right.
do this shit separately. There's no conversation without Eric, so
Eric Lee.
Eric Fritz.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Thanks for listening. 46 minutes.
Mr. Howdy signing off.
Mr. Howdy. Oh, that's a great story. That's a great story. We'll talk about that later.
We'll get into that.
I'm going to call him tomorrow.
Call who?
Tower.
Oh, nice. Do it.
I've completely just slacked off on that. And I had her the other morning, and she was like, howdy. I was like, God damn, she's probably wondering why I haven't called him. So,
Poor lady.
yeah.
She just lies awake at night thinking about you.
Yeah, anyways.
Story for later.
See you guys.